In a reportedly intoxicated state, he angrily refused to cooperate with staff in using the real name registration system and in wearing a mask. Dude! Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Kayla Cosmos, and today I'm pretty excited to talk about what we're going to talk about. If you're living in Taiwan, you've probably heard about this story, and if you're not living in Taiwan, this story will probably not surprise you. It's something very close to me because it relates to a fellow US citizen doing stupid shit when it comes to just wearing a mask. So before I get into like the juice of this video, I just want to say that all of the content I'm showing you, aside from all of this, does not belong to me. The article I'm going to be reviewing is from the Taiwan news, and the bits of footage I'm showing you come from a CTV news channel. I'm just gonna show you the image right here. I'm sure you know who they are if you're living in Taiwan and you watch the news. Either way, this is going to be my reaction video. We've seen all the crazy videos of people in the US not wanting to wear masks, blah, 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 and I thought, man, this is crazy. But I didn't really have to deal with it, right? Because I've been living here. Well, we've got our guy. We've got our guy now. This is the news article written by Keone Everington. It's titled, American Arrested in Central Taiwan for Refusing to Wear Mask 4 times. 4 times! What? Ay, bro. Like, so here we have this picture, and one thing I think interesting in Taiwan is that they will blur people's faces. Because in the US, we're just like, nah, bro, we're just gonna show everybody your face. Like, that's your problem. That's not our problem. Like, this is your fault. You brought this on yourself. So, an American man was arrested last week for refusing to wear a mask on at least 4 occasions over the course of 1 week and is now facing deportation. Since Taiwan imposed nationwide level 3 restrictions on May 19th, face masks are required at all times when stepping outside of one's residence. However, a 37-year-old American man surnamed Boyd is facing 4 fines and potential deportation for allegedly violating this mask regulations on 4 separate occasions. At 5 a.m. on May 29th, he wandered outside to smoke and was asked to wear a mask by a police officer from Taichung's Wenchang police station. And he refused, claiming it made it difficult to breathe, reported TVBS. Police took him into the station and filed a report that he had failed to comply and was issued a fine. Here's my one thing. When I first read this, I was like, I've seen plenty of people outside smoking cigarettes, like typically right outside of their apartments. Based on this photo, it looks like he's in like a small alleyway. So I think smokers are in a weird predicament here, right? Because like, where else are you gonna smoke your cigarette? You know, maybe you have a balcony, maybe you have a rooftop, but maybe you can only go outside and smoke your cigarettes. And you know, like quitting isn't just like, oh, let's just quit, right? Because it makes it difficult. No, it's like more complicated than that, I think. So at first I was like, that's kind of silly. I've seen plenty of people, Taiwanese people, outside smoking cigarettes, like right outside of their apartments. So when I read this, I was like, one thing I find funny about this statement here is that he's like, it made it difficult to breathe. So does wearing a mask make it difficult to breathe, or does it make it difficult to smoke a cigarette? But anyways, let's continue. So by 7:50 a.m., what? Wait a second. At 5 a.m., and then we don't even go to another day, and then we go straight to by 7:50 a.m. He was spotted on the street again, refusing to wear a mask, and was handed a second fine. What are you doing? Now this is another case where I'm like, was he trying to smoke another cigarette? Like, was that possibly the issue? But if he just happened to be out in the street not wearing one for no reason other than the fact that he doesn't want to wear one. Okay. The first instance, it seemed that he was trying to smoke a cigarette. Second instance, I can't tell if he's trying to smoke a cigarette. But the fact is that there's 2 more times in this saga of Boyd. Boom. Around 2 a.m. on June 1st, Boyd went into a convenience store without a mask. In a reportedly intoxicated state, he angrily refused to cooperate with staff in using the real name registration system and in wearing a mask. Dude! Okay, let's just keep going. So when police arrived at the scene, they took him to a station. He fell asleep. After he woke up, the police issued a fine for refusing to wear a mask and called his Taiwanese girlfriend to take him home. So this is his third time without a mask on. His third fine. Like, here's the thing. In the US, I understand why we don't trust our government. Our government will screw us over at any given way that it can just over the American people. It will. Like, a reason I came to Taiwan was because I was like, Taiwan seems to care about the people that live here. So in my mind, I'm like, why is this guy having an issue cooperating? Like, in the US, I kind of understand why people having these problems because we don't trust the government so much. But here it's like, dude, the story continues. On June 2nd, also around 2 a.m., he again went to a convenience store to buy cigarettes while not wearing a mask. When asked by the clerk to use the identification registration system, he lost his temper and began to rant and insult store staff. And then when police arrived at the scene, he also yelled at them and resisted their attempt to arrest him. And then after a struggle, 4 officers, God! So then, police then fined Boyd for defying the mask regulation on 4 occasions. Police have since transferred his case to the National Immigration Agency to determine whether or not he should be deported. In the video footage captured at the police station, Boyd can be heard justifying his failure with the law by saying, "I'm outside, there's no one near me, I can walk and breathe the air." Oh my God, I'm mean. In another video taken on the street, the man can be heard refusing to accept the fines and saying, "COVID is not real, then masks are fake." And now that I have it here, I might as well just, show the specific clips, especially where he's speaking English and being like wilding out. I can't feel bad. Like, dude, literally, how many times do you have to be told? Like, get over yourself, grow up. How old are you? 37. You are a grown man. A grown man. Okay, so here we see, he's smoking a cigarette. So yeah, I don't know, guys. How would you, if you smoke cigarettes, or if you were going to smoke a cigarette, tell me, how would you smoke a cigarette without a mask on, or with a mask on? Does it this is the only place where I'm kind of like feeling for his issues, right? Especially because I see people outside smoking cigarettes in the street quite often. Like I said, typically right outside their homes, but nonetheless. But let's continue, because it does get a little wild.
Mask is COVID is.
Okay, so right there, I'm guessing what we just saw in the news article where he's quoted as saying COVID isn't real and masks are fake. Although I'm confused why they blocked out like isn't real and fake. Maybe that's just something in Taiwan, and like that's like they're trying to not let people say those things. I don't know. That's kind of weird about freedom of speech, right? Because we should be able to say things are fake. I mean, it's not like he's a credible source, right? But anyways, interesting. So, Taiwanese viewers, please enlighten me about this. Like, fake and not real being bleeped out as well. I think that's very interesting. Let's continue. I can't tell if the cop is like a man or a woman, but they just look so tiny and they're just like, look at this white woman yelling at me. Dude, it's so embarrassing. Now, the one thing that I do wonder is like, did he get a warning that something like this would be possibly handed over to immigration? Or did it just happen 4 times and they're like, you know what, dude, we might just deport you? Because I think had they like threatened him that like he could get deported before handing that over to NIA, then maybe he would have like got his act together, right? I don't know, I'm trying to put myself in his shoes. Like if I was in his position and like all of a sudden they were like, you know what, we're just gonna deport you, I would have been like, whoa, hold up. Like I would have got my act together. But if perhaps he was warned that maybe this is something that could get him deported and he still ignored it, and then they handed it over to NIA, like that's your own fault if you already knew. And that's the one thing I'm not sure of. The last question I guess we have is, will he get deported? I don't know. Do I think he should be deported? That I also don't know. I think if he is given a chance to stay and he doesn't mess up anymore, then okay, great. But if he's given that chance to continue staying and he does it again, then like, bye, dude, go back to the US. So if you have been watching my channel and you've watched this today and you're like, who is this girl? This is how I act when it comes to other Americans just being ridiculous. Like when I think of my own country and how dumb we can be, like I'm such a harsh critic. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I definitely had a ton of fun making it, and you guys remember to stay home. I hope that you are enjoying your time home or trying as best as you possibly can. As you can see, I've kind of made like a little setup in my apartment, you know, try to make it a little comfy because I might be stuck from home making videos. And I pray I have no issues with copyright in showing that video and stuff like that, because I've also never used anybody else's footage. So I really hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure that if you like it, you guys know what to do. Give it a big thumbs up. And then if you are not subscribed to my channel, hit that subscribe button. There's no harm in doing so. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Peace.